Hello, we're back with COVID cooking. Today, we're going to do Sally's kale chips. Sally's a friend of mine, great lady that I work with. Sally does these in a dehydrator, but I don't have a dehydrator, so we're gonna use the oven. So here we go. Kale, nuts, and almost forgot. Today's beverage, a shot of espresso, vodka, Kahlua, and cream. So it's a white Russian that you can have in the morning. Here's to you. Okay, so Sally uses walnuts. We have a tree nut issue in our house, so no walnuts. So I'm using peanuts that have been soaked for an hour. Also the kale, you want to make sure that your kale is really super fresh, because if it gets old at all, if it hangs around even for 24 hours in the fridge, it gets kind of wilty and it's not that great. So I've already prepared these, but I want to show you on this how I do it. You want to make sure that there's no big veins. So you want pieces about that big. Some of them obviously are not going to quite be that way. Some of them bigger, some of them smaller. It's okay. And for the most part, they want to. It wants to be in leaves about that size, but you got to be careful. So we have in the food processor 1 cup of peanuts that have been soaked in water for an hour, and 1/3 of a cup of nutritional yeast, about a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put about a teaspoon or so of smoked paprika. Like I said, I use peanuts. Sally uses walnuts. She also prefers to use raw walnuts. That's entirely up to you. The recipe also calls for 1/3 of a cup of water. I'm going a little bit shy of that 1/3 cup because these batches have been coming out a little soupy. This is still pretty chunky. You want this to be pretty pasty, otherwise it's going to be hard to handle when you have to, because you have to massage this into the kale. Okay, that looks pretty good. So there's still some chunks in there, but the important thing is the texture, and it's firm enough to handle without being soupy. So now I'm going to take the kale dark side up, take a little of this, and literally massage it into the leaves. You have to massage it into the leaves, otherwise it won't stick. And then it goes there. So I'm going to do a few of these, and then I'll spare you all the pain of watching me do this for half an hour. Put them on a strainer like this, a sheet. There's actually like a cookie drying sheet or something. And then they're going to go in the oven 200 degrees for about an hour and a half. And that's where you may want to sort of watch it. As you can see, I like sort of a lot of product on these. I like a lot of peanuts on here. Do it as you choose. If you don't like quite so much, then don't put so much on there. So, we'll be back when they come out of the oven. We're back. A couple of housekeeping notes. The peanuts were soaked in water for an hour. Not this. I was soaking in this for an hour. So here's finished product. Now I will tell you, I like it chunky, so I ran it that way. So it doesn't go as far. I also put a lot of product on top of the kale, once again, so it doesn't go as far. So if you want to make it smoother, if you want to put less on there, you'll use more kale. So now in we go at 200 degrees for an hour and a half. Okay. While you're waiting, feel free to have a cocktail. We'll be back in an hour and a half. We're back. Okay, this is the finished product, kale chips. This is 200 degrees for an hour and a half. As you can see, this is the bottom rack, so they're crisper. These are completely crisp. This was the top rack, which is a little less. So I probably could have stood to pull these out about 5 minutes ago. Like most people, kale is not my favorite thing. However, these things, this is my third batch in like a week. So I can't stop eating these things. They're awesome. So enjoy these, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.